We're going to come here and we're going to dissect the comments. We're going to see who's full of it, who makes a good point, and if everybody's just a crybaby. All right. So let's start with Malgarok. He says, "Nah, it's fine. You can keep them." We can keep what? The buffs? Yeah, we will keep them. Oh, you mean Blizzard keep them? No, homie, that's not how this works. We're all here for one reason. We want to see if our spec or class is getting the buffed treatment or the nerf hammer. And it does matter. That's our time invested in this game. And it ain't gonna be invested getting our asses whooped. Alright, Malgarok, if you want to play on some cute shit with no new changes, it's time to go back to Classic. Alright, so Storm Beasts. I am actively championing the swift and immediate end of esports slop in this game so that we can start getting meaningful class tuning and balancing without this nonsense of we don't want to upend the meta during the MDI, AWC, RWF, or whatever else esports slop is happening. It's so tiring. How is the extent of class tuning at this moment? Are you asking us how the tuning is going, you complete doofus? In that case, what are you even talking about? This guy is smoking the good shit. People like this complain about anything. Take it with a grain of salt. Absolutely debunked. This fool just screwed his own point over at the end of his sentence. And my brain hurts from reading it. And it's only guy number 2. Alright, so now we have Scarbassa. So let me get this straight. Ret and Survival Burst gets nerfed in PvP, but Devour is staying how it is? What the heck is going on over there? Alright, I can level with you. I don't agree with the Ret nerf. I mean, maybe to the Templar one-shot, but it should have got some compensation. It should have got a 5 to 10% damage buff across the board at least. But I do like the Dawnlight appreciation. Survival getting its main coordinated assault or whatever burst CD is reduced to 25% is a massive nerf, but it did get 6% in compensation. However, it's the right direction, guys. We want to move towards a consistent damage meta where all of our abilities do something. Okay, so it's not just line of sight for 15 seconds and then the spec is completely countered. All right. So I mean, it's getting there, guys. Have faith. All right. The fact that those micro changes coming up on this next set of tuning shows going towards consistency, it could be that we are actually heading towards that meta. And if we're lucky, by season 2, every spec will almost be on the same tier. We'll have a full spice, flexible game of different options and uniqueness, and everybody will do good. Okay? Next guy, Kyoko. I kind of feel at this point nothing should be needing 100% buffs. He's referring to Diabolist, Ruination damage increased by 100% in PvP combat. You just walked on a landmine. Destro is my main, and that it affects my main tenfold, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, you're complaining about a buff that nobody's even going to use. That hero talent side makes you hard cast Immolate. When you got 3 melee up your ass, the last thing you want to do is try to hard cast an Immolate. So that thing is going to need to slap. If it doesn't slap for 300k plus, as a Destro main, we will not be taking it. Do you hear me loud and clear? So you're crying and bitching about a buff that doesn't even matter. And for the record, Ruination absolutely needed 100% buff. It's needed it for a very long time. In fact, it's been so long since it needed it, it might actually be so late that it's actually irrelevant at this point. So you did get me a little emotional on that one because Destro is one of the worst specs in the game right now, which is why it's getting some attention. In any case, Likanoth, Sandland is like 9% behind Raiders of the Apocalypse, and you're just going to ignore that, I guess. I'm going to have faith and assume this guy did his math. He's referring to the 30% damage buff to Sandland, saying that it's 9% behind Riders anyways. He makes a very good point. But Kenoth makes a good point. These hero talent adjustments are just bringing them closer balanced. Has nothing to do with the spec's overall performance, unless that talent tree affects it tenfold. So a lot of these being brought up is just to equate to the side of the hero tree that's already good. And a lot of times, 9 out of 10, it's not going to replace the tree that's already effective. Keep that in mind before you start crying. All right, next we've got Peruru. Balanced druids have been true bottom on Mythic Plus statistics. Their top DPS even cannot catch up to average players of top several specs. This obviously showing you don't care, even hate balanced druids. Please delete balanced spec. All right, guys, I'm going to teach you how to dissect these smart Alex. This is a classic case scenario right out of page 3, section 8 of Reverse Psychology. This guy absolutely loves Boomkin. He secretly loves them. It's his main spec, and he doesn't want you to delete balanced druids. He wants you to secretly buff his spec. So he's low-key playing devil's advocate to start some drama, to make it look like people were crying about Boomkins, because everybody knows when you guys cry in unison, that spec gets nerfed or buffed the next day. So if enough people cry about Boomkin, it'll get buffs, even though it's doing just fine. And it did just get a Star Surge buff last week and another 20% Starfire crit buff this week. So Peruru, your little Reverse Psychology is not working on the DOMs. I can see right through you like a glass, and I can clearly see you're trying to buff your spec. So get out of here with that shit. And then we'll go ahead and go with Bill Rock. So many specs feel like garbage, and the ones that are OP all feel the same. You're ruining the goddamn game with your poor design and tuning. No one at Worldcraft plays their game. Oh, I can see being a level 81 Warlock. He's probably not very good at the game. He probably tried to run a Mythic 0 or a solo shuffle and got smoked, and then re-rolled. And then now he's playing a spec and he's not top DPS in his little battlegrounds. And it hurts. Did I nail that one on the head or what? Oh shit. Sorry, buddy. We'll just move on to the next one. Brant's now. Nice Arsham buffs. Reducing mana cost is definitely game changing. You guys are real competent. Now, I do agree with you. Keep in mind, rookie, this is why we're dissecting these comments. Every single one of these guys has been debunked so far, and this guy's no exception. It was a Mythic Plus and Raid change for the mana. It trickled down into PvP, and we'll take it. But no, it's not game breaking, so I mean, I'll give you that. But thanks for stating the obvious. And then, of course, nothing else makes any sense with what you said. So, Shazik, is it me or does anyone else say, here we go, sigh, when clicking on these links? And a big for F's sake when I read the Arms Warrior change. What are you smoking in that pipe? Is it hashish? You got a 3% damage nerf and you're crying like a newborn infant? Bruh, it's 3%. And if you're complaining about the completely unnecessary Berserker ability nerf that went from 10 seconds to 5 for Mythic Plus, trickles down to PvP, that shit was unnecessary, but guess what? It sucked in PvP at 10 seconds. It sucks in PvP at 5 seconds. Completely irrelevant talent. All right, so you're crying about a 3% nerf. You can't make this shit up, guys. You can't. Raka, seeing the phrase class tuning upcoming just triggers the Ben Affleck cigarette meme in my head. Not quite sure what you mean, but it does sound funny. And then we have, what's your Resto Shaman ranked in solo shuffle? Buff enhance for the love of God. Warlocks win again. And I guess we can call it on that one. Yeah, that's looking good. So every single person debunked. That's why I want to let you guys know when you're reading these comment threads, be careful. Because everybody's got their own secret agenda. We've looked and dissected about 4 or 5 different people. Each one of them had their own different agenda, and none of it was relevant to the actual topic at hand.